Have you ever wondered if you're meant to walk a path of solitude? In this video, we uncover the 11 signs that could reveal if you're destined to be an eternal loner. Let's explore the truth behind what makes you stand apart. Now picture this. You're at a party or a social gathering, but instead of feeling connected to those around you, you find yourself on the outside, observing. While everyone else seems to enjoy the chatter, you secretly crave the peace of being alone. Does that sound familiar? Did you know that around 20% of people identify as loners? Even more surprising is that many report feeling happier and more content in their solitude than those who are more socially active. So, if you feel this way, you're not alone. Today, we will explore why. Welcome to Self-Mastery and Mindful Connections. Today, we're diving into a fascinating topic. What does it mean to be an eternal loner? We'll walk through 11 key signs that may reveal whether you're destined for a life that embraces solitude. These signs are more common than you think, and by the end of this video, you'll understand how to harness these traits to thrive in a world that often values constant connection. Whether you're an introvert, someone who finds peace in solitude, or feels out of place in social settings, this video is for you. Stick around, because we will also share insights from Dr. Rachel Simmons, a renowned psychologist specializing in mindfulness and stress reduction. Her perspective will help you understand the deeper psychological benefits of embracing your unique path. Sign 1. You enjoy your own company more than others. You genuinely enjoy your own company more than being around others. For many, spending time alone is a choice, not something forced by circumstance. You might find that you recharge best when alone with your thoughts rather than in social settings. Take Julia, a graphic designer who realized her most productive and creative moments came when she was alone. She shares,
I used to feel pressure to be more social or attend networking events, and I always felt drained afterward. Now, I prioritize my alone time, and it's changed everything for me. I'm more focused, creative, and in tune with myself.
People who prefer solitude often find that it allows them to reflect, recharge, and cultivate a deeper self-awareness. It's not about avoiding others, but recognizing where you feel most at peace.
if this resonates with you, don't go anywhere. We've got 10 more signs that might confirm your path as an eternal loner. And we'll also share tips on thriving in solitude rather than seeing it as something negative. Sign 2. Social gatherings often leave you feeling drained. Social gatherings often leave you feeling drained rather than energized. While some people thrive in social environments, you might find that the more time you spend with others, the more your energy levels deplete. After a night out, you feel exhausted, not from physical activity, but from the mental and emotional effort of being around people. Take Marcus, a philosophy professor who loves deep, meaningful conversations, but finds that most social gatherings focus on small talk. Marcus admits,
I used to feel guilty for leaving events early, but I realized I value my energy and prefer one-on-one conversations over group dynamics.
For people who identify as loners, social interaction often feels overstimulating. Their energy is better spent on introspection or activities that align with their values so that they might avoid large social gatherings.
if you've ever felt like socializing is more of a chore than a pleasure, don't worry, you're not alone. Stick with us as we explore more signs that could reveal whether you're truly destined for a life of solitude and how to navigate these feelings without guilt. You spend a lot of time in deep thought and enjoy introspection. While others may seek external distractions, you prefer to reflect on life's deeper questions. Whether journaling, meditating, or simply sitting in quiet contemplation, you value these moments of self-reflection. Understanding yourself and the world on a deeper level is more fulfilling than surface-level conversations. Meet Leah, a solitary traveler who finds joy in reflecting on her experiences after exploring new places. Leah shares,
Traveling alone has allowed me to think deeply about who I am and what I want from life. When you're alone with your thoughts, it's not just about visiting new countries. It's about personal growth.
People who enjoy introspection tend to have a strong sense of self-awareness. Loners, in particular, find comfort in these moments of deep reflection because it helps them process their emotions, thoughts, and experiences without the outside world's noise.
If you enjoy pondering the mysteries of life, you might be destined for a solitary path. Keep watching because 8 more signs will confirm this and show you how to thrive in your introspective world. Sign 4. You find meaning in solitude, not external validation. Another strong indicator that you might be destined to be an eternal loner is that you find meaning in solitude, not external validation. While many seek approval or validation from others, you feel most fulfilled when you're alone, pursuing your thoughts and passions. Solitude is where you discover your purpose. External recognition, though sometimes welcome, doesn't drive you. Evan shares,
I realized that I wasn't happy chasing promotions or recognition. I felt truly alive when creating something independently, away from the spotlight.
For those destined to be loners, external validation often feels shallow. Loners seek intrinsic rewards, the satisfaction that comes from within rather than the accolades or recognition from others. They draw meaning from their journey, and solitude allows them to stay connected to that inner purpose.
stay with us. We're uncovering 7 more signs that will give you a clearer picture of whether you're destined for a life of solitude and how to embrace it confidently. Sign 5. You're highly self-aware and reflective. One of the clearest signs of an eternal loner is that you possess a high degree of self-awareness. You're in tune with your emotions, thoughts, and behaviors, and spend much time reflecting on your experiences. This self-awareness often leads to personal growth because you constantly evaluate and improve yourself. You don't need others to tell you who you are, you already know. Take Carla, a business consultant who, despite working with large teams, always took time to reflect on her actions and decisions at the end of the day. Carla noticed,
I've always found that time spent alone is when I'm most honest with myself. It's when I assess my progress and set new goals. Being self-aware isn't about being hard on myself, but about understanding my strengths and weaknesses and owning them.
Self-awareness is a hallmark of individuals who prefer solitude. When alone, they can fully connect with their inner selves, allowing them to reflect on their actions and personal development without the distractions of social expectations.
if you've ever felt that time alone is your key to self-awareness and growth, keep watching because we're only halfway through. We still have 6 more signs to help you uncover if you're truly destined for solitude, and more insights from Dr. Rachel Simmons on thriving as an eternal loner. Sign 6. You cherish your freedom and independence. For those destined to be loners, freedom and independence are non-negotiable. You highly value your ability to decide on your terms and live without relying on others. You might feel restricted by relationships or commitments that limit your freedom. Solitude, for you, is the ultimate form of independence. Meet Ryan, a freelance photographer who built his career around his love for independence. He explains,
Working on my own, traveling when I want, and not answering to anyone but myself. That's what keeps me motivated. I realized working in a structured corporate environment wasn't for me because it felt too restricting.
Loners often value their autonomy highly. Their need for independence is one reason they may avoid overly close relationships or social situations where they feel restricted. Freedom allows them to explore their potential fully without the constraints of external expectations.
if freedom and independence are crucial for you, we're getting closer to uncovering the full picture of an eternal loner. Stick around because we still have 5 more signs to explore, and you might see yourself in one of them. Sign 7. You avoid small talk and seek meaningful conversations. You avoid small talk and seek deeper, more meaningful conversations. You likely find small talk exhausting or pointless, preferring to dive into discussions with substance. You may find it difficult to connect with people who only engage in surface-level conversations, and instead seek out those who challenge your thinking or inspire you. Let's take Emma, a writer and avid reader, who recalls,
I used to dread social gatherings where people would ask about the weather or what I had for lunch. I always seek a meaningful exchange that makes me think or question my perspective. I'd rather have one deep conversation than 100 shallow ones.
Loners tend to have a low tolerance for superficial interactions. They crave conversations that spark curiosity or introspection, often finding small talk draining. Meaningful conversations feed their intellect and sense of connection on a deeper level.
if you find yourself avoiding small talk in favor of meaningful connections, stay with us. 4 more signs could reveal even more about your personality as an eternal loner and how to make solitude your strength. Sign 8. You feel emotionally detached from others. A key sign that you might be destined for solitude is that you often feel emotionally detached from others, even in close relationships. While you care for the people in your life, you may find it difficult to invest in the same way others do emotionally. You often prefer to keep your feelings private and process emotions internally, rather than sharing them openly with others. Consider Daniel, a software engineer who values his friendships, but often feels a sense of distance from them, who shares,
I care about my friends, but I've always struggled to fully engage emotionally. It's like I've built a wall. I prefer to process my feelings independently and not burden anyone else.
For loners, emotional detachment isn't about a lack of empathy but self-preservation. They may feel emotions deeply but prefer to process them internally. This sense of detachment allows them to maintain their independence and avoid becoming too enmeshed in others' emotional lives.
If you've ever felt emotionally distant, you might recognize more signs pointing to a solitary path. Stay tuned as we reveal 3 more traits to clarify your self-discovery journey. Sign 9. You work best alone and find collaboration challenging. You work best when you're on your own. While some people thrive in collaborative environments, you prefer to take charge of projects solo. Group work may feel chaotic or inefficient, and you often find that you can accomplish more when left to your own devices. Meet Alex, a freelance web developer who discovered teamwork wasn't his strong suit early on. He reflects,
I've tried working in teams, but I always feel like I could get things done faster if I did it myself. I love having the freedom to problem solve in my way without waiting for group consensus.
Loners often excel in independent work environments because they are highly self-motivated and prefer to manage tasks without interference. Collaboration can feel like an obstacle for them, not because they lack teamwork skills, but because they find personal satisfaction in working independently.
if you feel most productive working solo, you might be closer to confirming your path as an eternal loner. Stick around because we've got 2 more signs that will complete the picture. Sign 10. You have a strong sense of identity and self-purpose. A powerful sign that you're destined for a life of solitude is that you have a strong sense of identity and self-purpose. You know who you are, what you stand for, and what drives you. This deep-rooted understanding of yourself often makes it difficult for others to influence your opinions or decisions. While some people may still search for their sense of self, you've already embraced who you are and where you're headed. Meet Hannah, a self-taught artist who has always followed her path despite the expectations placed on her by family and friends. Hannah relates,
People told me I should get a real job. But I always knew that creating art was my calling. I didn't need anyone to validate my choices. I knew deep down that this was my purpose.
Loners typically have a solid sense of self, which gives them a strong foundation for making decisions that align with their values. This self-assuredness often comes from the time they spend in solitude, reflecting on their beliefs and purpose. They don't rely on external influences to guide their path, strengthening their independence.
if you've always clearly understood your identity, stick around for the final sign. There's just 1 more, which might solidify what you've suspected. Sign 11. You value deep connections, with a few people rather than large groups. The last sign that you might be destined for solitude is that you value deep, meaningful connections with a few people rather than surrounding yourself with large groups. You prioritize quality over quantity when it comes to relationships. Superficial friendships or acquaintances don't fulfill you. Instead, you prefer investing time and energy into a small circle of trusted, close connections. Let's consider Megan, a therapist who has kept her friend group small, and shares,
"I've never felt the need to have a large social circle. I find much more joy in spending time with a few close friends who understand me than trying to keep up with many people."
Deep connections are essential for loners but don't need to be numerous. Loners often feel more fulfilled by investing in a few meaningful relationships rather than spreading their emotional energy across a large network. This allows them to maintain their independence while still nurturing close bonds.
If you value deep, personal connections over quantity, you might have just confirmed your path as an eternal loner. But remember, being a loner isn't about isolation. It's about choosing connections and situations that bring genuine fulfillment. There you have it, the 11 signs that suggest you're destined to be an eternal loner. Whether you relate to one or all of these signs, remember that being a loner is not something to be ashamed of. It's a path of self-awareness, independence, and inner strength. Embrace your solitude as a source of growth and fulfillment, and don't feel pressured by societal expectations to conform to more social norms. If you found this video insightful, be sure to like and subscribe to our channel for more content on self-discovery, personal growth, and mindful living. We're dedicated to helping you unlock your potential and navigate life on your terms. Don't forget to hit the notification bell so you never miss a new video. And let us know in the comments, do you see yourself in any of these signs? We'd love to hear your thoughts.